So,
best paper award going.
well, I didn't give it to myself. That would be cheating. Marking my own homework that way. So, welcome back from a light refreshment. And then welcome to my talk. So, this is a practical pitch into what I said in the morning. This is an area I work in industry, so I deliver and build and hand over to BAU security operation centers. It could well be called protective monitoring for those in the UK. There is that word, protective monitoring, everywhere, DPD 13. For those in central government, in the US, continuous monitoring. In Australia is also called Security Operations Center. Some call it cyber, some call it JSOC, which is joint. There is also tension between the NOCs and the SOCs, Network Operations Center and Security Operations Center. Where is the line? The focus here is what do they do? What should they be doing? How do you better use them? That's what our presentation is. So again, Security Operations Center or security in general or IT should not be the driving force. It is business goals and business strategies that should drive IT and drive security. So if you work in finance or you work in IT, it is what the service that you're rendering for that business that matters. Therefore, IT should be a supporting function and IT should be there to enable that service to operate and work. So it's not that I like that shiny firewall, badge it in. I like that shiny IDSs, put it in. Organically, you grow and expand, and it's not in line with the vision of the business. It shouldn't work that way. So if you're planning to do such thing and you haven't done it before, it should be top-bottom. The strategy first, the roadmap, and then the key milestones, and then that drives what type of technology you need. That also drives what type of security operations center you have. You could well outsource it to managed service providers. You could have it in-house. So there are different delivery models, and that's not the pitch here, but it's just to throw away those that you know when doing that there are different ways you could actually deliver this service. So delivering it inside as an in-house, your people alone would cost you a lot. Upskill, training, shift, on-call, different services. If you then outsource it to a service provider, managed service provider, they come with risk. Some of the agencies wouldn't do that. In some places I work, it's a no-no because of the trust and so many things that you couldn't commercialize. So therefore, there are also a call for hybrid. So you have the heavy lifting and heavy shifting done by the service providers, and the core components, incident management, resides inside. So that way, all they do is the eyes on the glass, they monitor it, they escalate to you, then the incident, which is where you locate the critical assets, you know those knowledge. You do not want to offload those knowledge outside, and then you can do the incident monitoring, incident management aspect. So there are ways, models you can use to deliver a hybrid, and I can step through that off the line if you want. So the idea here is to make sure that it's in line with your business strategy. What do they do? There are people there. There must be people, eye on glass, monitoring the service 24/7. It must be governed and directed by the practices. Your policies needs to be there to set what is it that they're monitoring, what do they need to do, what do they need to look after. So it's guided by the three Ps, the people, policy and procedures. Underpinning that is the technology, because you cannot monitor hundreds of assets. Imagine 200 or million or billions of assets federated. So manual intervention is no-no. So you do need to leverage on technology capabilities to deliver this. So what do? They make sure that you stay in business. That's the first thing. So there has to be survivability in the face of adversity. So there are businesses that pull the plug is no option. So if you're in finance, you know what I'm saying. So there has to be a threshold that they're allowed to. So you have to maintain the service as you combat or mitigate the ongoing attack. So it means that your identification of your vulnerabilities and the threats or threat agents. So where are the compromise paths? You need to know those beforehand. Some people do not know their assets. Who has the asset? Who has a mobile phone, an iPad, where they are? Some people have no current CMDB, which is your configuration management database. If you don't know that, how are you going to know that's a rogue device in the estate? So you have to start from the basic principles is know who your assets, who owns those assets, what are the assets, where are they? So that's the first thing. Second thing is where are the controls? And again, you do need people and the processes and procedures. And then you go to then identifying and following up how you manage the incidents. So that's critical to a security operations center. Whether it is called a cyber security operations center or joint security operations center or just a SOC. The underpinning principle is identifying those assets, making sure that you know what the vulnerabilities inside or within around those processes, which could be the processes you use, the workflows do not work. It could well be that you don't have the right controls, technical controls. So it's not always technical controls. When I say controls, there are procedure controls, the NDAs, non-disclosures, the confidentialities, the HR policies. Those are procedure controls. They are soft controls. And then there are the active monitoring controls, and then you need technology to enable those. At the end of the day, you want to, the bottom line is that you will be attacked, you will be hacked. Is how you mitigate this, how you respond to this.